There's nothing worse than the feeling of hopelessness, that feeling of not having anything to look forward to, that feeling that is so connected to our sense of motivation, because we no longer find it easy to understand what the purpose of it all is. Why is it worth it to show up? Why should I try one more day? Why should I even put effort into this thing? It's a feeling that's tied to a belief that tells you that things are just not going to get better. Why should I even try again? Why should I even say anything? Why should I even do another workout? Show up another time in that meeting? Why am I even doing this work? Why do I even have this job? Why am I even doing this Excel sheet? What is all of this for? And I feel that this is a feeling that comes in life when we have nothing that is meaningful to us to look forward to. We have filled up our calendars and our weeks and our hours with a bunch of things that don't mean anything to us, or they simply may not just mean enough to us. And my invitation for you today is to take a moment to reflect on what brings meaning to your life, and to ask yourself if you're bringing those things into your everyday life. There are different ways in which we can bring meaning to our lives, and some of those things are bigger, some of those things cost money, some of those things can be long term, some of those things can be tied to holidays or traveling or seeing an artist that you love, or buying a big house or building your own house, or it can also be related to having kids and starting a family. It can maybe be related to supporting a cause that your heart is really close to. Those are big things that are important and that I think is good to not lose sight of. But there is also smaller things that we can add into our everyday life that don't cost so much energy, they don't cost so much money, and all that they cost is our decision to include them. And after we have made the decision to include them, what they cost is our willingness to pay attention to them and appreciate them when they're happening. It's the small things that we choose to do every Tuesday morning, or every Wednesday afternoon, or every Saturday at noon. It's those special moments that we save for ourselves, and where we intentionally allocate activities, moments that we know that are gonna help us look forward to that moment earlier in the week. It's these things that, we wake up in the morning and we're excited because that thing is happening on that day. Or we start the week and we're excited because that thing is happening on that Friday of that week. So my invitation for you today is to think about what those things are for you, and to start creating space in your life to include them. Because you deserve to live a life where you are hopeful. You deserve to wake up in the morning and look forward to something. And many times we get caught up on everything that is not possible or available to us in this moment. Bigger things that we have no control over. Maybe we want to visit a dear friend, or we want to spend more time with certain people, or you would really like to go on a specific holiday, or there's something specific that costs you something, whether that's energy or time or money that you don't have right now. And it's so easy for us to put all of our focus on those things and to lose hope. Also, we do this when we start seeing other people that do have the possibility to do those things that we cannot do right now. and we feel inferior. We feel like we are unlucky. We feel like there is all of these things that other people can do or that they can have, but we are not one of the chosen ones. And it's so easy for us to put all of our energy on that one thing that we cannot have right now and lose hope. And wake up in the morning and feel like shit, basically. And feel like nothing makes sense. Like all of the effort that we're putting is for nothing. Because why do I get up every day and do all of these things and talk to all of these people and check from my to-do list all of these things if at the end of the day it's just for this? It's just to pay rent, or it's just to go into another meeting after, or it's just to repeat the same things that I don't like. But why are you doing that? Why not bring back our focus to the things that we can indeed control? Why not take a look at what is indeed possible for us? And that's why I am a big fan of small wins, of small things, of romanticizing our life, of romanticizing everything that we have control of fully letting go and stopping to use our energy, because it's wasting our energy on things that we can literally not control today. And if we can control them in the future, yes, putting in today what is needed for us to fit in that journey that is going to allow something to blossom later. Yes, of course, think long term. Yes, of course, let's save money and let's put on our long-term goggles and still nurture things that are going to blossom later. But right now is also important. And it's important for us to bring joy to ourselves today, because we deserve to be happy today. We deserve to smile today. We deserve to relax today. We deserve to laugh today. We deserve to enjoy today. We deserve to feel proud of ourselves today. We deserve that tomorrow as well, but we deserve that in the present moment, right now. So I go back to the small things, the things that are available to us, the routine that we have, our everyday life. What does that look like? For me, a dream of my past self that I get to enjoy today was to have enough money that I wouldn't have to excessively worry about going out and ordering food instead of cooking myself, and not having to count the dollars or the euros of this salad and the coffee, and adding up together so that I would save money. For me, a big dream was to get to a point where, yes, fine, I'm not overspending and I still get to, save for bigger things in the future. But I didn't want to have to worry and counting how many salads I bought or how many coffees I bought, because that's just something that brings me joy. And so today, when I do something as simple as having a lunch break and ordering salad instead of bringing my own food that I cooked on the Sunday afternoon to save money, well, yes, I chose not to do that. I chose to spend my money now buying this maybe overpriced salad, and I chose after to have an overpriced coffee as well. That moment is meaningful to me, and I choose to appreciate that moment and to not take it for granted, because it is a result of all of my hard work and all of my effort in the past years, and it's a result also of the work that I put in today, because I work so that I can enjoy the little things. I work so that I can feel not guilty when I buy the stupid coffee, even if it's overpriced. I don't care. Now I can do it. Now I can pay it. Now I can afford it. And that brings joy to me. And this might sound like a super silly example, and it might not be the thing that you want to relate to. And that's totally fine. If you don't want to spend your money on overpriced coffees and you think it's stupid to spend your money on salads, please be my guest. Do not do it. But my point is that we all have to find something that makes us feel content with our everyday life beyond the bigger things that are going to happen on a much lower frequency, let's say. And I am a big fan of having this combination of planning things long term, having a trip that you look forward to, or having a moment where you're going to see a friend that you haven't seen for a while, and planning for that, and then almost like counting the days until that moment arrives, and doing all of that. But I am also a big fan of balancing that with creating a life and a routine that is meaningful for you. That when you wake up in the morning, you feel like you're so lucky that you get to live that day because of A, B, and C. And so I want to invite you to think about what you want your intention to be in the next couple of months. And when I say in the next couple of months, I don't mean in 2 months from now. I mean every day in the next couple of months. What do you want your daily intention to be? And my invitation is for you to choose something that you can control. Maybe your intention can be to find something and to allocate in your calendar every week something that brings you joy. And it can be either adding something really, really small to every day of your week at a specific hour of the day, where every day you're looking forward to 6 p.m. because it's a moment in the day in which you do something that's very special for you. Or it can also be something that you do once every week. So every week you're looking forward to something that you do every Wednesday at 7 p.m., for example. And so maybe it can be that you're gonna go out and then you're gonna meet with someone that you love. It can also be that you're gonna spend 1 hour with yourself writing, which is something that you used to love doing, but you haven't done in a while. Maybe it's that you're gonna start reading again, and so you're gonna buy a new book, and then you're gonna spend 30 minutes reading something that makes you forget about everything that's going on in your life and makes you kind of like travel into a story and awakens all of these emotions in you, and you have a scheduled time in the week for you to do that. Or maybe you're gonna join a new class that is super fun to you, and maybe you can do this twice a week, or it's once a week, or maybe it's once every 2 weeks. But my invitation is for you to intentionally plan something that brings back hope into your life, and try to find something that is doable for you. Forget about all of those big things, overwhelming, gigantic things that you see other people doing that make you just compare yourself to them and make you feel down because you cannot do those specific things. Find something that's doable for you. Find something that's realistic for you, and give yourself permission to add that into your schedule. It could also even be something like approaching your days with an intention that is different to anything that you have done before. I often hear people, where like their entire emotional world is so ruled by things that are so far away from their control. Like, for example, if you're working at a company and the company is financially not doing so great, and then the resources are not being allocated in the way in which you hope that they would, and then you don't have, let's say, the capacity to spend your time in the way in which you would like to, because the company is kind of like not spending resources in people doing that thing. Why perhaps don't you choose to change your focus to having an intention that is more related to something that you can indeed control? Instead of focusing so much on what the company's intention is, why don't you pick your own intention? Why don't you decide to develop a soft skill that you haven't had before? Or why don't you decide to maybe start closing this chapter of your life and start finding something else somewhere else? And I think that for us, what's most important is that we choose to live our lives in a way that makes sense to us. That you wake up in the morning and you look at the day ahead of you and you feel that that day makes sense for you. And the only way for you to get to a point where your days make sense to you is for you to be extra intentional about what is it that makes sense to you. So having that sense of clarity where you can clearly say, yes, I am the person that values extremely much not having to worry about this overpriced coffee, and that is something that I want to achieve in my life. Or having the clarity to be like, hell no, like that's never going to be something that I stand for. These are the other things that I care about. Having clarity of what that looks like for you, and then being able to bring that into your life and schedule that, put that into your calendar, and start building your days around those little special moments and things and activities that bring back hope into your life. At the end of the day, that feeling of hopelessness is a feeling of lack of control, is a feeling of knowing that there are certain things that are important for you, there are certain things that you care about, and you cannot control them. It's a feeling of helplessness where there's just nothing for you to do. And it brings in that lack of motivation, that lack of purpose. You deserve to live a hopeful life. And you have much more control than you think. So I invite you today to regain back that control, and with that control, a sense of hope will come back into your life.